All right, President Trump, and this is one of his commercials sent to me by a member of the church. This should be interesting.
With a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind.
For sure. Let's go back to this and look at a little more of this. All right, so you know that the corporate elites, banking establishment, media, other groups, world banks, have been pushing their own agenda in both parties for a long time, and that's why they've been against Trump from the beginning, because he's not playing ball with them.
Campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another four-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment.
That is absolutely true in part. I don't know how complete that is. The swamp is deep and wide, and they've been fighting Trump for 3.5 years, probably longer. Longer than that, he's been working to get into the presidency and changing things. He's done more than any other president in my lifetime, and we'll see what happens in this election in November. If he loses, it's because of voter fraud and other things.
That is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests.
There you are, Soros and others. Yep. Is this an illusion or is it getting more free? Time can only tell. Is the swamp too deep and too wide? Time will only tell.
Rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the...
Honestly, she and a lot of other people should be locked up. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but that's what should happen.
Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda. And the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, 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 and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented. And the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve.
And so much more, but the battle is long than over. It will be a battle for the next 12 to 13 years, unending. Regardless of who gets in there will determine the degree of the severity of the battle. All right, so let's continue.
Agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, 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 and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented. And the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote.
Now that is in part true, but there's going to have to require greater Republican leadership and greater leadership among other individuals pushing for a more united and conservative America. The liberals have way too much power and money, and the Democrats are getting away with too many abuses, and the Republicans lack the leadership in many cases to stop these abuses. Trump and a few others are doing everything they can, but they are not supported in the ranks well enough.
Vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning.
Nigh is it depending on public vote, but many people that are appointed need to be voted out or taken out because of their corruptions and their abuses. Actually, they need to be sentenced and put in jails. And that's not happening.
I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefit of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
So there you are. That's as simple as it gets. We'll yet to see. We need either Trump Jr. in there for another 8 years. He needs to be set up so we can get that done and accomplish that. And beyond that, we need another strong leader for another 8 years. It's going to take at least 12 to 16 more years to pull this thing off. At least. Think about that. We have a long ways to go. It's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.